Hello, welcome to Digital Signal Processing online lecture series. In the previous session of DSP, we have started the unit Discrete Fourier Transform, its properties and application. In that session, we have seen the standard definition of DFT and one example using the mathematical formula of DFT. Now in this session, we are going to start the new topic, which is cyclic property of Twiddle factor. That is also referred as DFT, as linear transformation matrix. We will see the linear transformation matrix for DFT in terms of Twiddle factor in this session. We will see what is Twiddle factor and what is the cyclic property for endpoint DFT. So let's start with that. So first of all, let us see what is Twiddle factor. The Twiddle factor is denoted by Wn, where capital N indicates the endpoint DFT. And it is given as Wn, that is equals to e raised to minus j 2 pi by n. Now according to the definition of DFT, x of k equals to summation of n equals to 0 to n minus 1 x of n e raised to minus j 2 pi kn by n. Now if we want to represent this equation, that means standard definition of DFT in terms of Twiddle factor, it is given as x of k, that is equals to summation of n equals to 0 to n minus 1 x of n wn kn. So this is the Twiddle factor, which is equals to e raised to minus j 2 pi by n. As you can see over here, we have represented the kn over here and endpoint DFT n over here. So this is how we can represent the Twiddle factor. Now let us see the cyclic property of Twiddle factor. And for that, we'll take endpoint DFT to find the different values of this Twiddle factor. And according to the values obtained, we will determine the cyclic property. So this is the table indicating the values of Kn. And according to that values, the Twiddle factor values for endpoint DFT. And here we have taken n equals to 8. That means we are taking 8-point DFT. And according to this value, what will be the value of the phasor? That means the output value for this Twiddle factor, we will write in this column. So we are taking the value of Kn starting from 0 to 11 to represent the cyclic property of DFT. Now, if we take value of Kn 0, that means here W8 Kn, where Kn is 0, will be represented as W8 0. For that, we will place these values into e raised to minus j 2 pi kn by n, where kn we will take as 0. So if we take over here kn 0, it will become e raised to 0. So the value of e raised to 0 is 1. So here value of the phasor, that means value of this Twiddle factor will be 1. Now for the next value, that means when we take value of kn as 1, it will become W81. That means here kn equals to 1. Which will become e raised to minus j pi by 4. Now e raised to minus j theta equals to cos theta minus j sin theta. That will become over here cos pi by 4 minus j sin pi by 4. Cos pi by 4 is 1 by root 2. Similarly, sin pi by 4 is also 1 by root 2. That means 0.707. So here 0.707 minus j 0.707. Because this formula is what? E raised to minus j theta. That is equals to cos theta minus j sin theta. Now we are taking value of kn2, that will become W82. Here we will place kn equals to 2, which will become e raised to minus j pi by 2. E raised to minus j pi by 2, that will be equals to cos pi by 2 minus j sin pi by 2. Cos pi by 2 is 0, minus j sin pi by 2 is 1, that will become minus j. Now next we are taking value of kn3. So that will become W83, that is equals to e raised to minus j 3 pi by 4. That means cos 3 pi by 4 minus j sin 3 pi by 4. That will become minus 0.707 minus j 0.707. Same way for value of kn 4, it will become W84 e raised to minus j pi. That means cos pi minus j sin pi. Cos pi is minus 1 and sin pi is 0. That will become minus 1. Now next value is pi. That means W85 that is equals to e raised to minus j 5 pi by 4. That will give value minus 0.707 plus j 0.707. Now same way, similarly we are finding the values up to 11 and we have obtained the values of this in the same method. So these are the values we have obtained for 8-point DFT up to the value Kn from 0 to 11. Now we will plot these values indicating the cyclic property on a circle. As we are taking 8 points, we are dividing the circle into 8 parts. So this is which is indicated with the values of cyclic properties. Now as you can see over here, there are 8 points on the circle. We have taken 8 points because we are considering 8-point DFT over here. Now what cyclic property exactly says? That whatever the values on this circle points are there, the exactly cross values, that means exactly opposite values are same to that of the opposite one. That means as you can see over here, W80 value is 1 and its crossed value, that means W84 will be exactly opposite to that. That means here as you can see W84 is minus 1. Okay. Same way if we are moving on the circle, the next value is W81. W81 value is 0.707 minus J 0.707 and its opposite value is W85. So W85 is minus 0.707 plus J 0.707. That means opposite, or as you can say negative to that previous values. Okay, so if we write these values according to this, so it will be like this. Here W80, its value is 1 and exactly opposite, that means on the negative side, or as you can say on the opposite side of this will be negative to that. That means here it will become minus 1. Here W81, the value of W81 was 0.707 minus J 0.707. Now opposite values, that means on that line, that is W85, which will be negative to this value, that means it will be minus 0.707 plus J 0.707 that we have obtained previously. Okay. Now if we move ahead, W82 is minus J. That means over here W82 is minus J and W86 will be plus J. So as you can see, that is plus J. So we can write the values over here. W82 is minus J and W86 is plus J. Same way W83 and W87 values will be negative to each other. W83 value is minus 0.707 minus J 0.707. So here we will write down that value. So here this will become minus 0.707 minus J 0.707. So this value, that means opposite on that line, that is W87 will be 0.707 plus J 0.707. Okay. So this is called as cyclic property. That means as we move around on the points of this circle, the cross values will be negative or else opposite to each other. Same way if we are extending these values, that means here starting from W80 to W81, W82, W83, W84, W85, W86, W87. If we are going to continue to move on the circle, so the next instant over here will be W88. Same way here it will be W89. Then the next will be W810. Here it will be W811. Next will be W812. Here it will be W813. Here it will be W814 and here it will be W815. That means again for another circle, that means for 16-point DFT, this property will remain same. That is called a cyclic property. That means what, over here the value of W80 and W88 will be same and exactly opposite values, that means W84 and W812 will be same but negative to these values. Same way, W81 and W89 values will be same, but their opposite values, that means W85 and W813 will be opposite to these values. Okay, so same way on the circle, as we are moving on these points, this property remains same, so that every time we don't need to find the values. Okay, this is called as the cyclic property of DFT. Now, let us see the 4-point DFT in matrix form for mathematical formula. Now, if we find the 4-point DFT in matrix form, it is given as x4, that is equals to w4 into x of n, where x of n is the original input discrete sequence and x4 indicates its DFT. Where w4 is the matrix which is given as like this. All you need to remember in this is what? That means you need to place the values of 4 ones in horizontally, 4 ones vertically. Then in the diamond shape you need to form -1, -1, -1. In the cross section -j, and here it is +j. And in between there is value of 1. This is a 4 cross 4 matrix which is fixed for matrix form for DFT. This is how you can find DFT. Same way if you find IDFT, that is called as inverse discrete Fourier transform. That means if you want to find x of n original sequence back from its DFT version, the formula will be given as x of n, that is equals to 1 by n, that means the value of n point DFT, into W4 star, which is called as the conjugate of that matrix, into xn. So here the conjugate matrix will be almost similar to this except the arrangement of its imaginary values. That means over here we will place 4 ones vertically, 4 ones horizontally. We will place -1 forming the diamond shape. Then these j values are reversed. That means as you can see over here, -j are in this position. But now we will place -j right here. Then +j over here. And in between there will be the value of 1 multiplied by the xn value. So this is how you can find the IDFT from the sequence. Now let us see the example to make it more clear. So first let us consider the data. The example data which is given as compute the DFT of following sequence. So here we are asked to find the DFT using the linear transformation matrix. So for that what we will do, we will use the formula of the matrix and using which we can find the DFT. So the formula is what? Xn, that is equals to Wn, that means 4 cross 4 matrix, into x of n. Now here as we are finding for 4-point DFT, x4 will be there, that will be equals to 4 cross 4 matrix, that is linear transformation matrix, which is fixed, where horizontal 4 ones are there, vertically 4 ones are there. Then here -j, +j, +j, -1, -1, -1, -1, and here it is 1. This is multiplied with the value given to us, that is 0, 1, 2 and 3. Now we have to do matrix multiplication over here. So to do matrix multiplication, we have to multiply first row, then column, second row, then this column, third row with this column, fourth row with this column respectively. Now multiplying this value with the respective elements, 1 into 0, that will give 0, then 1 into 1, that will give 1, then this 1 into 2, that will give 2, plus 1 into 3, that will give 3. Same way for the second row, 1 into 0 will be 0, minus j into 1 will give minus j, minus 1 into 2 will give minus 2, plus j into 3 will give plus 3j. Same way for the third row, that will become 0, minus 1, plus 2, minus 3. And for the fourth row, 1 into 0, 0, plus j, minus 2, minus 3j. So the answer will be 1 plus 2 plus 3, that means 6. Then the next value is minus 2 Here it is plus 3j minus j, that means plus 2j. Then the next value is minus 3 minus 1 minus 4 plus 2, that means minus 2. Then the next value is minus 2 minus 2j. So this is the answer of DFT. That means you can write over here DFT as x4, that is equals to 6 minus 2 plus 2j minus 2 minus 2 minus 2j. This is the answer of DFT for the sequence given to us, which is 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is how you can find a 4-point DFT using linear transformation matrix. Now, in this what happens is the second and fourth term will be always complex conjugate to each other. That means as you can see over here that the value is plus 2j and this is minus 2j. This property remains the same. Now, let us consider one more example. Here the data given to us is what? For the given two 4-point sequences x of n and h of n, where x of n equals to cos pi n by 2, where n equals to 0 to 3, and h of n equals to 2 raised to n, where n equals to 0 to 3. First part is to calculate 4-point DFT of x of n, and the second part is to calculate 4-point DFT for h of n. So first of all, we need to find x of n and h of n using this equation, and then we need to find the DFT for each of them individually using the linear transformation matrix method for DFT. So first of all, we will find two sequences. So here x of n equals to what? X of n equals to cos pi n by 2. We will place first of all first instant value n equals to 0. So that will give cos 0. Next value is 1, that will give cos pi by 2. Then the next value is 2, that will give cos pi. And the next value is 3, that will give cos 3 pi by 2. Right? So the answer over here will be cos 0 that is 1, cos pi by 2 0, cos pi minus 1 and cos 3 pi by 2 0. Okay, so this is the sequence of x of n. Same way, let us find out h of n. Now h of n is what? H of n is 2 raised to n, where n equals to 0, 1, 2, 3. So let us take first of all n equals to 0. That will become 2 raised to 0, then 2 raised to 1, then 2 raised to 2 and 2 raised to 3. So the values will be 2 raised to 0, that means 1, then 2, 4 and 8. Okay, these are the values of x of n and h of n. Now using these two values, we will find individually 4-point DFT for x of n and 4-point DFT for h of n. So let us first find out for 1, 0, minus 1, 0. That means for x of n using the same method. So first we are taking x of n, that is equals to 1, 0, minus 1, 0. So for this x4, that will be equals to w4, that means 4 cross 4 matrix into x of n. Here this matrix is 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, minus j, plus j, plus j, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1 and here 1. Now let us multiply this with 1, 0, minus 1, 0. We are doing the matrix multiplication as we have done in the previous example. This will be multiplied with this column first, then second row, this column likewise. So for the first row, we will get 1 plus 0 minus 1 plus 0, multiplying respective elements for this. Now for the second row and this column, 1 into 1, that means 1 plus 0, then minus 1 into minus 1 will give plus 1, then j into 0, that means 0. Now for the third row, that value will be 1 plus 0 minus 1 plus 0, and the fourth column value is 1 plus 0 minus minus plus 1 plus 0. So for this the answer is 1 minus 1 0, 1 plus 1 2, 1 minus 1 0, 1 plus 1 2. Okay, so here the value is x of x4, that means for 4-point DFT, the DFT sequence is 0 2 0 2. As we have obtained the values for the sequence where n equals to 0 is this value, we can also indicate the arrow at this position. This is the 8-point DFT for this first sequence x of n. Same way we will find this for h of n, where h of n is 1 2 4 8. So let's find that value for h of n. For the second case, where h of n equals to 1 2 4 8 and the arrow is at this position. Same way we will do the same procedure. Here we cannot denote it as x4 because here the value is in terms of h. So we will use over here h4. So here this is h4, that is equals to w, that is matrix for this, then h of n. So here the matrix is same, 1 1 1 1, here also 1 1 1, minus j plus j plus j, minus 1 minus 1 minus 1 minus 1 and here 1 with h of n value 1 2 4 8. Now let us do the matrix multiplication. Here it will become 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 8. Then for the second row it will become 1 minus 2j minus 4 plus 8j. Then the next value will be 1 minus 2 plus 4 minus 8. Then the next is 1 plus 2j minus 4 minus 8j. So this will give the value 1 plus 2 3, 3 plus 4 7, 7 plus 8 15. Next value is 1 minus 4 minus 3 plus 8 minus 2j, that means 6j. And the next value is 1 minus 2 minus 1 plus 4, 3, 3 minus 8 minus 5. Then the next value is 1 minus 4 minus 3, then minus 6j. So this is the value of h4, which is given as 15, 3 minus 3 plus 6j minus 5 minus 3 minus 6j. Okay, this is the answer for second DFT sequence. Alright, this is how you can find the values of DFT using individual sequences given as the input. So I hope that DFT using linear transformation matrix is clear to you now. In the next session, we will see some more example of DFT and then we will see IDFT examples, that means inverse discrete Fourier transform. These are the references. Thank you. Thank you for listening.